Why's everyone only got margarine? Don't you have butter in this house anymore?
Oh, Mrs. Bridges keeps all the butter for upstairs.
What I do and what I don't do, Daisy, is my concern. As for you, Edward, if you don't bring your rations with you, you won't get fed.
Well, he can share mine.
That's not the point. It's an individual rationing system. Now that Edward's a corporal,
Acting unpaid.
he's somebody with a certain amount of influence, or should be.
All right, Mrs. Bridges, I'll have a word with the Quartermaster General.
3 years, 266 days. Aye, it's a weary long time for a war.
It seems a long time to spend losing one.
We are by no means beaten, Daisy.
Yeah, the usual planned withdrawal, eh? Yeah, I've been to some of those.
Edward, I am surprised at you, a soldier, seeing such a thing.
We've been pushed back 30 or 40 miles and lost over 1,000 guns. They even admit that. So how many do you think we've really lost?
Half the regiment. The rest are wounded, killed or missing. And some of them taken prisoners. Ah, they never stood a chance. They're really scraping the barrel up at the depot, I can tell you. Even the Artful Dodgers are getting drafted now.
Well, you won't have to go again, will you, Eddie?
Well, they never tell you. Oh, I don't think so, Daisy. I'm C3 and you can't get much lower than that.
Oh, Daisy, you make the tea, will you? No use waiting for Ruby. She's probably got run over or blown up by a bomb. She'll have some excuse.
You got the meat, Mrs. Bridges. Here it cards.
What on earth's that horrible stuff?
Scrag end at neck, Mrs. Bridges.
Scrag end in this house? I wouldn't give it to the cat.
But there was ever such a long queue, Mrs. Bridges, and that's all he had.
And that's all he had. Did you tell him who you was from?
Couldn't do that, Miss Bridges, not in front of all them people.
You take that straight back to where he come from.
I can't.
You can and you will. And you'll ask to speak to Mr. Gosling himself like I told you. Tell him that I sent you. And I want a nice round of beef, home-killed. None of your foreign imported stuff. Now get along with you, Ruby. Oh, that girl. No wonder we're getting beaten.
Please sit down, all of you.
Oh, I've got the kettle put on, Miss Truss, and Mrs. Bellamy will be back.
Daisy, I asked you to sit down. Mrs. Bridges, would you mind? You too, please. Now, I will no longer tolerate the continuous stream of defeatist talk that I hear all the time in this servants' hall. May I remind you all that only the other day, on St. George's Day, in the raid on Zeebrugge, the Royal Navy gained as great a victory as any in her proud annals.
Didn't stop them advancing in France.
No, Mrs. Bridges, but it did coop up those U-boats that have been sinking our ships and causing this rationing that you're always complaining about. If we are steadfast, the tide will turn. Now, I want you all to listen very carefully to Earl Haig's order to the army. It applies to us all. There is no course open to us but to fight it out. There must be no retirement. With our backs to the wall and believing in the justice of our cause, each one of us must fight on to the end. The safety of our homes, the freedom of mankind, depend alike upon the conduct of each one of us at this critical moment. And now, Daisy, you can go and put the kettle on.
Doesn't sound as though Earl Haig thinks we've got much of a chance.
There's a visitor in the morning room, my lord.
Who?
Mrs. Hamilton, my lord.
Good day.
A rather long one. I think I'll go and see James.
He's asleep. He had another go of the Horace this morning. Dr. Foley came and gave him an injection. Virginia Hamilton's here.
Virginia Hamilton?
Oh, you remember?
Oh, yes, I do remember. She's the widow from Scotland who's so persistent about some charity.
Yes, we have to help her, Richard. She's in terrible trouble. She came off the Dover train and arrived at my canteen in a state of collapse. She wanted to go to an hotel, but I insisted she came here.
Why?
Her son, who is in the Navy, is in arrest and being court-martialed.
Hazel, my dear, I am Civil Lord of the Admiralty, a political post. The very last person in Britain who can interfere in any way with a naval court-martial.
I'm not asking you to interfere. Only to help.
Oh, please don't get up, Mrs. Hamilton. How very nice to see you again.
Thank you. Oh, and my congratulations on your elevation.
Quite undeserved.
Well, now, I really must be going. I've done nothing but make a great nuisance. No, really, I'm quite all right
Nothing
now.
of the sort. Sit down and take these.
Thank you.
Mrs. Hamilton has had a great shock.
Oh, yes, Hazel explained to me briefly about your son. Is that the one you told us was a midshipman?
Yes, that's right, Michael, my eldest. You see, since he was tiny, he's never had any thought in his head except to join the Navy and... Oh, you of all people, why should I bother you with my troubles?
Oh, please, I'd like to know.
Well, about a month ago, he was so pleased because he was promoted acting sub-lieutenant above all his term.
That must have made you very proud.
2 days ago, I received a telegram to say that he was in arrest at Dover and was to be court-martialed.
What for?
Cowardice.
Do you know why?
No, not really. Well, Michael was on a coastal motorboat in some action against Ostend.
Oh, yes, that was the same night as Zeebrugge. The plan was to block the entrances to both channels. The Ostend business was a failure. Of course, you don't read about this in the newspapers, but between ourselves, we think the enemy had been forewarned.
Oh, something happened to Michael. Oh, it sounds so silly, but I couldn't find out any of the details. Well, down there, it was all so difficult. Nobody would talk about it. You know
Of
what I
course,
mean.
the case is sub judice.
It was all very embarrassing, really. Several of my husband's old friends were very kind, but it didn't seem there was anything they could do.
Mrs. Hamilton, have you got a good lawyer?
My husband's family use a firm in Edinburgh. The man's very nice. He's a bit of an old fuddy-duddy.
What about Geoffrey?
Yes. Edinburgh's rather a long way away, and my advice to you, Mrs. Hamilton, is that you ought to see a good lawyer rather quickly. I'm not speaking now as Civil Lord of the Admiralty.
No, I understand.
Well, if you like, I will telephone Sir Geoffrey Dillon, who is a personal friend and a very good lawyer.
Oh, that would be very kind.
Yes. I think you may find that he, too, at first, is a bit of an old fuddy-duddy.
Mrs. Bridges. Mrs. Bridges?
Yes, Chloe, what is it?
Mrs. Bridges.
Oh, Miss Hudson.
There will be 2 extra for dinner tonight, Mrs. Bridges.
2 extra for dinner? But only an hour ago, the mistress...
Mrs. Bellamy asked to convey to you her apologies for the sudden change of plans. Mrs. Hamilton is coming and Sir Geoffrey Dillon.
And what am I going to do about food? Has anyone thought of that, eh? Oh, Ruby.
Yes, Mrs.
Fetch me my war receipt book. Oh, dear. Visitors are not going to have this family's meat ration for a whole week. I can tell you that. Oh, this rationing's going to be the death of me. Right. Well, they can start with cabbage leaf soup, followed by Victory oatmeal rissoles and potato substitute, and finish up with sugarless rhubarb tart. And you can cook it for them, Ruby.
Mrs. Bridges asked me to make her apologies for the somewhat patriotic nature of the dinner, madam.
Thank you, Hudson. That'll be all.
I thought the sweet was quite delicious. So nice to have something not swamped in rich cream and sugary sauces.
Good.
Hardly the usual time or place, but I think we should get down to business, the circumstances being somewhat unusual.
Yes, please, Sir Geoffrey.
The proceedings come under the Naval Discipline Act, Part 1, Articles of War, Paragraph 2, misconduct in the presence of the enemy. I had a word with the judge advocate, and I have the charge. Would you like me to read it? For that he, acting Sub-Lieutenant Michael Drury Hamilton, then being the officer commanding His Majesty's vessel Coastal Motorboat 47B...
He can't have been in command.
I think the commanding officer had been killed.
And being a person subject to the Naval Discipline Act, on the 23rd day of April, 1918, from cowardice, did not, during the action between His Majesty's fleet and the fleet of the German Empire, in his own person and according to his rank, encourage his inferior officers and men to fight courageously. What sort of person is your son, Mrs. Hamilton?
I've had a signal, Geoffrey. You'll be able to talk to him yourself.
Thank you.
He's rather shy if you don't know him. But underneath he's very determined and very brave, which sounds rather silly. To me, he's thoughtful, unselfish. He's funny. My other children adore him. In the Navy, he's always been rather a success. Perhaps too successful.
When you saw him at Dover, what did he say to you?
Oh, not much, I'm afraid. He didn't want to talk to me. Seemed to be able to talk. He just said how terribly sorry he was and how he'd let his father down.
Quite clearly, the less he has to do with his own defense, the better.
Who do you suggest defends?
Well, no specific qualifications are called for, according to the regulations. You know, the Navy has retained some customs going back to before Nelson's time. For instance, if the accused is found guilty, they point his sword at him. Quite barbaric. I expect you've heard the old adage that inside every solicitor there's a barrister pleading to get out. I must confess I would be most interested. That is, if I were acceptable to Mrs. Hamilton.
Of course, Sir Geoffrey.
Thank you. I shall do my best. The proceedings will be held at Dover Castle, a most interesting place. It contains the Pharos, you know, the Roman lighthouse in which they kept a constant fire blazing to guide their ships across the channel.
Excuse me, my lord. Sub-Lieutenant Michael Hamilton and escort.
I was lying on the deck, sort of shivering. I was very, very frightened.
Not very surprising. What were you thinking?
Well, I was hoping no one would notice and trying to pull myself together when Chief Webb came and knelt beside me. I think he thought I'd been wounded.
I see.
He told me the skipper had been killed. That meant I was in command.
Yes?
I mean, I knew that perfectly well. I knew it was my duty to go to the bridge and take over, but I just couldn't move. I mean, I just couldn't. My body just wouldn't move somehow.
And what happened then?
Well, I managed to say something, and Webb went away. He's a ripping sort of fellow. He never said anything. But he knew I was funking it as well as I did. When the firing had stopped, I felt all right again. But that doesn't alter the fact that I behaved like a rotten coward. I mean, I shall have to tell them that, shan't I? It's no good shirking the truth. I shall have to say that
It seems to me that you've said a great deal already. Are you willing to have me defend you?
But Mother and Lord Bellamy said...
The final choice must be yours.
Well, yes, sir, please.
In that case, you must do exactly as I tell you.
Yes, sir.
You'll plead not guilty.
But, sir, how can I?
You'll not be required to speak in your own defense. I shall do the talking.
But if I think I'm really guilty...
It's not what you think that matters. It's what the officers of the court think. There'll be senior naval officers with a great deal more experience of the Navy than you, and quite frankly, much better able to judge your behavior than yourself.
I see, sir.
Now, you want a fair trial, don't you? You want to know what people think of your actions?
Well, yes, of course.
Now, from now on, you'll keep your mouth shut. Anything you want to say, you'll say to me. Now, I want you to sit here and write down every single thing you can remember about that night.
Yes, sir.
Well, he was quite young, but he looked really fierce. Well, I bet he's used that sword before now.
What was it all about?
Well, it's Mrs. Hamilton's son in trouble, if you ask me.
I wonder if they'll make him walk the plank.
Hello? This is Lord Bellamy's residence. Who is there? Who? Edward? What on earth? Good heaven. Who? Daisy? But... Oh, hold the line. Daisy, Edward is wishing to speak to you on the telephone.
Edward? On the telephone?
You better come and speak to him then. on the telephone.
Edward telephoning? I never did whatever next.
That instrument was not installed for the likes of us. It is for the use of those upstairs and for no one else, Daisy. I would like to make it clear to you, and you to make it clear to Edward, that never again, under any circumstances, may he telephone this house.
Well, he said he was sorry, Mr. Hudson, but it's an emergency.
What sort of an emergency?
Well, he won't be able to get up here today,
Don't call that an emergency.
but he wants me to take an omnibus and go up there to him. If I could have the afternoon off, please, Mr. Hudson.
Oh, with Rose away on her holiday at Southwold, that could hardly be more inconvenient, Daisy.
Well, I can manage.
Yes, yes, Ruby, I'm sure you can. But not until upstairs luncheon has been cleared.
Oh, yes, Mr. Hudson. Thank you, Mr. Hudson.
Mind what I said about the telephone.
Yes, Mr. Hudson. Thank you, Mr. Hudson.
And 3 bags full, Mr. Hudson.
The news seems better today.
What does it matter? No one's going to win this war.
Well, the Americans were in action for the first time in France.
Just too hard to pick up the pieces. What's gone wrong in this house? You can ring and nothing ever happens.
We are rather short of servants with Rose on holiday.
Whenever I ask, I'm told there are visitors to meals and goodness knows what.
Now, James.
After all, it's my house.
My dear boy.
Evidently, nobody seems to care about me anymore. Least of all, Hazel.
Now, don't be absurd.
Anyway, what's she doing going off down to Dover with this woman?
Mrs. Hamilton's having a rotten time. You know how kind-hearted Hazel is.
Mrs. Hamilton isn't being court-martialed, is she?
No, but her son is very young. He's only 17.
Damn silly. Sending a boy like that into action. We would have had a trooper of that age in the regiment, let alone an officer.
I will inform their lordships of your opinion.
Ruby, what on earth are you doing in here?
I'm sorry, sir. Daisy's got
Take
to
this
go.
tray down. It's been waiting an hour.
Yes, sir.
And tell Mrs. Bridges she's giving me far too much to eat. I can't take any exercise, so I don't want to be stuffed like a goose.
Yes, sir.
Chief Petty Officer Webb, during the operations against Zeebrugge and Ostend, known as ZO, you were coxswain of coastal motorboat 47B.
Yes, sir.
Will you describe to the court, in your own words, what happened to your boat after she departed from Stroombank Whistle Boy?
Yes, sir. We proceeded inshore towards Ostend Harbour on a course set for the Bellboy, which was our start point for laying smoke. But when we heard the surf, it was a bit of a mystery, us not knowing, as we did later, that the enemy knew our plans and had moved the boys.
Please confine your evidence to what actually happened.
Sir, as we turned to starboard and began to lay smoke, the enemy opened up on us from the shore. It was as if they knew that the boat was exposed to very heavy gunfire and machine guns at close range. The wind being unfortunately offshore, we were shown up against our own smoke. I have never experienced such heavy fire. It was like the sea was boiling all around us. The boat was hit by 3 or 4 shells and raked by machine gun fire. I observed 2 of the foredeck Lewis guns with their crews blown into the sea. It was like hell. It was a miracle anyone stayed alive up there. The skipper, Lieutenant Twiss, I should say, was hit by a shell splinter and killed instantly. I put over the helm and turned back into our own smoke, and the firing decreased and became inaccurate. I proceeded to the foredeck to find Acting Sub-Lieutenant Hamilton, who was in command of the Lewis guns. I found him lying inert on the deck. At first, I thought he was dead, but he was breathing and his eyes were open. I knelt beside him and asked him if he was all right. He did not reply.
What happened next?
I informed Acting Sub-Lieutenant Hamilton of the death of Lieutenant Twiss. He did not reply. I again asked him if he was wounded. He replied, no.
Did he say anything else?
Yes, sir. He said, you carry on, Beatty.
What did he mean by Beatty?
Well, sir, I imagine it was a reference to the time when Acting Sub-Lieutenant Hamilton was a midshipman, sir. I was his navigation instructor, and some of the young gentlemen referred to me in a playful manner as Beatty on account of the angle I wore my cap.
All right. Proceed with your evidence.
I returned to the bridge and put the boat back on course. After he had lain the smoke, I was joined by Acting Sub-Lieutenant Hamilton, and on his orders we proceeded back to the rendezvous.
Did you discuss what had happened?
No, sir. There was too much to do. There was the dead and wounded at C2, and the boat was near to sinking.
When Acting Sub-Lieutenant Hamilton told you that he was not wounded, and yet made no move to get up or follow you back to the bridge, what did you think?
I don't rightly follow you, sir.
Did you conclude that he was incapable of doing so through fear?
I object. The prosecuting officer is putting words into the mouth of the witness.
Objection allowed. The witness's thoughts are irrelevant.
I have no further questions.
Does the defense wish to cross-question the witness?
If you please. Acting Sub-Lieutenant Hamilton's job was commanding the foredeck, was it not?
Yes, sir.
A very important one.
Yes, sir.
And your job as coxswain was to steer and navigate the boat.
Yes, sir.
Now, if Acting Sub-Lieutenant Hamilton had decided, even though in command, to remain on the foredeck, would that have surprised you?
No, sir.
Which, it seems, is exactly what he did. Thank you, Chief Petty Officer.
The witness may stand down.
CMB 47B rejoined the flotilla at 0247 hours at the rendezvous. Owing to her poor condition, I took her in tow and took our crew on board my own boat. On the orders of the force commander, we then proceeded back to port. On the passage, Sub-Lieutenant Hamilton was ordered to my cabin to make a report of the operation, as was customary. He said to me, "Don't ask me what happened, sir. I funked it and let you all down. If you want to know what happened, ask Webb. He saved the day. He ought to get a medal." I asked him to explain, but he became incoherent and broke down. On return to port, I put Acting Sub-Lieutenant Hamilton in arrest and charged him with his present offence.
Sir Geoffrey Dillon, please proceed with the defence.
Thank you. I call as witness Lieutenant Lightfoot.
Lieutenant Lightfoot is prosecuting officer.
He is also the accused's commanding officer and a very vital witness in this case. May I refer you to the Admiralty Memorandum on Court-Martial Procedures, Section 685, Paragraph 2. The prosecutor is a competent witness, as is a member of the court, and whether previously objected to or not by either side, is not necessarily disqualified from being examined as a witness, should it be found that he can give material evidence.
Please carry on.
You bear an especial responsibility in this case, do you not? A very grave responsibility.
Yes, I do.
If Acting Sub-Lieutenant Hamilton had not come to your cabin and confessed to you his supposed failure, do you think he'd be here now?
That is a hypothetical question which I'm unable to answer.
Now, you have told us that he made incoherent statements and broke down. Did you not consider that he was in a state of shock?
I think everyone's in a state of shock to some extent after an action.
Did it not occur to you that he was ill and ought to see a doctor?
He did not request it. As it happened, the one doctor then available had 23 wounded men to attend to, some of them dying.
Now, you have quoted the accused as saying, "Don't ask me what happened, sir. I funked it and let you all down. If you want to know what happened, ask Webb. He saved the day. He ought to get a medal." Is that all Hamilton said to you?
I believe so.
I don't think that was all. You have your report. Pray consult it.
He did make one other remark. "I'm terribly sorry, sir. It won't happen again. I'll know what to expect next time."
Thank you, Lieutenant Lightfoot. I have one more question for you. Do you think that instead of arresting Acting Sub-Lieutenant Hamilton, you would have been wiser to tell him to pull himself together and forget the whole thing?
I believe I did my duty.
Thank you, Lieutenant Lightfoot. Acting Sub-Lieutenant Hamilton has not yet attained his 18th birthday. He is a young man whose record up to this point in the Royal Navy has been irreproachable. He would hardly have been selected for promotion at this tender age if that had not been so. He was chosen to take part in this possibly difficult and dangerous operation for that very reason. No one could have known that within a few minutes of acting Sub-Lieutenant Hamilton going into action against the enemy, he would undergo an ordeal of shot and shell that few sailors are called upon to endure in their whole careers. The sea was boiling all round. The foredeck, which was acting Sub-Lieutenant Hamilton's command, was like hell. It was a miracle that anyone stayed alive. Those are the statements of the prosecution witness, a chief petty officer, an experienced sailor, a man not given, I would imagine, to making statements of a wild or exaggerated nature. Yet one man on that foredeck did survive, acting Sub-Lieutenant Hamilton. Is it surprising that as a result of the shocking explosions all round him, his brain and body suffered a temporary paralysis? Yet, in spite of that, acting Sub-Lieutenant Hamilton was able to summon up enough common sense to order Chief Petty Officer Webb to carry on, knowing that he himself was temporarily incapable. Every man is entitled to his own opinion, but I don't think that fair-minded and experienced officers such as you, gentlemen, can have any doubt, as I have not, that this young man went to his senior officer and blamed himself, quite wrongly as it happened, risked his whole career so that his chief petty officer should receive the recognition which was undoubtedly his due. What could be more honest, more unselfish, more honorable? I believe that in judging this young man, we should talk of courage, not of cowardice. I ask you to acquit acting Sub-Lieutenant Hamilton, to give him that honorable discharge which he so justly deserves. Let him prove to you, by his own future conduct, that your trust in him has not been misplaced, and that the steel of his courage has been tempered by his first and terrible ordeal.
It is now for the prosecuting officer to sum up.
This country is facing one of the gravest crises in our history. The whole service awaits your verdict with great interest. Any weakness in your judgment might give the backsliders a chance to let their country down in action. Let your verdict on Sub-Lieutenant Hamilton be an example to them all.
Clear the court.
After that, they couldn't possibly find him guilty. They simply couldn't.
I don't know. These men are naval officers, you know, not judges. They think differently. They have different standards. And, of course, they put the Navy first, just as your son did, Mrs. Hamilton.
And my husband, yes, that's quite true, Sir Geoffrey.
Court is reassembling.
The court finds that acting Sub-Lieutenant Michael Drury Hamilton, through cowardice, did not, during the action between His Majesty's fleet and the fleet of the German Empire, in his own person and according to his rank, encourage his inferior officers and his men to fight courageously, and is guilty of the act charged against him. The court sentences the aforesaid acting Sub-Lieutenant Michael Drury Hamilton to be reprimanded.
Ruby? What's happened to my meat scraps? They've all gone. All them scraps the Major left.
It must be the mice again.
I'd like to see the mouse that can climb up the side of that saucepan, lift off the lid and put it back on again. Human mouse, if you ask me. But I'm not asking me, Ruby, I'm asking you. Have you been stealing my scraps? Have you?
Oh, no. Honest, Mrs. Bridges.
What is the matter now, Mrs. Bridges?
Ruby's been stealing my meat scraps, that's what's the matter. Though, of course, she won't admit it, not to me.
Have you, Ruby?
Well, I did take one or two very little bits. Nothing more than grease and skin for the poor animals at the zoo.
Animals at the zoo?
Yes, poor things. They were so grateful, they're half starved.
Oh, to feed the animals at the zoo is a very Christian gesture, Mrs. Bridges. I think she may be forgiven. Oh, time for the Major's tea.
It's already in the kitchen.
Daisy, where is that girl?
Oh, Daisy's gone to lay down. Well, she was feeling poorly. I'll take the tray up, Mr. Hudson.
You will do nothing of the sort. I will take it up myself.
I hope it's nothing more than poorly. What with the rationing and the U-boats and the Germans on our doorstep. And if you so much as touch one tiny scrap in this house again, I'll have Mr. Hudson take you down to the station and clap you behind bars. You see if I don't.
Yes, Mrs. Bridges.
Sounds like a great hoo-ha about nothing to me. Sort of thing the Colonel dealt with every day himself when we were in action.
I'm sorry that you felt neglected. Richard said that you had.
Forget about it. Just me making a fuss about nothing in my usual spoilt way.
When Rose comes back from her holiday, she's giving up her job on the omnibuses. She'll be here especially to look after you.
Well, why should Rose spoil her life just for me?
Well, I could get Nurse Wilkins back, if you prefer it.
Forget about it. Don't worry me about it. I'm not worth it. I'm useless. Just a burden to everybody. And I'm not getting any better.
Dr. Foley says that you are. It just needs time.
That's what all the bloody quacks say. That's what they're paid for. Why can't he be honest? Why can't anyone be honest? If I was a horse or a dog, I'd be for the bullet and good riddance.
Hudson. Thank you.
Hudson, come in. Don't you go sneaking off like that. You found a way of winning the war yet?
Well, not exactly, Major.
The soldiers have found a way, guaranteed. We've got the Kaiser, Little Willie, Hindenburg in one front-line trench, Lloyd George, Haig, Foch, and all the froggy generals in the one opposite. Give them 1,000 bombs to throw at each other, the war will be over in a week.
Very good, Major. Very good indeed.
Hudson, when Miss Elizabeth and I used to come to your pantry, you would do a trick for us, do you remember?
I can't say I...
Yes, a very good trick with matches.
Oh, yes.
Do it for me. Yeah.
Well, it's quite some time since I... let me see now. There were the two supports, right? A wee bridge across the middle. Light the fire.
Wonderful. May I do it now?
It could hardly have been a better verdict in the circumstances.
No, it's a great relief. I don't know what would have happened without your dear Sir Geoffrey. I can't thank you enough for finding him.
Nothing. Oh, Geoffrey's a tower of strength when it comes to a crisis.
He pretends to be such a dry old dragon. He really has a heart of gold.
Yeah.
I just hope everyone... I hope Michael won't think I played the interfering mother, using money and influence to get him off lightly.
When my son was wounded at Passchendaele last October, I was easily persuaded, against all my principles, to go out in a private ambulance and bring him back. We're only human. Well, now it's all over. You can forget it.
Yes. I wish I could persuade Michael to do that.
Oh, he will, don't worry. He'll get another chance. This verdict won't damage his career in the long run. He's young.
I wonder. I know the Navy so well. It's such a small family, really. Oh, of course, that's its great strength. It has its disadvantages. In the future, whenever Michael's name comes up for a job, or even in ordinary conversation on a ship or at a dinner party, Michael Hamilton, they'll think, even if they don't say it. That Charles's boy who was court-martialed for that business at Ostend. Very sad. Oh, yes, I know so well.
You just have to take his chances and prove them all wrong.
Good evening, sir.
Hello.
We ought to go, Mother. I've kept the taxicab waiting.
Michael's taking me out to supper, and then we're going on to see a show.
Chu Chin Chow, for the 3rd time.
We both adore it. Well, I must go up and tidy. Hazel said I might use her room.
Don't be too long.
I won't be 2 shakes of a duck's whisker.
We've all heard that before. Would you like a glass of sherry?
Thank you, sir.
Oh, would you prefer a cocktail?
No, a glass of sherry, thank you, sir.
Mm. There.
Thank you very much for your help, sir.
Well, all's well that ends well. Put it down to experience.
Yes, sir.
Sure you'll be all right next time.
Yes, I think I will, but I don't expect there'll be a next time for me. Not in this war. It wouldn't be fair with so many of the other fellows wanting a chance.
That's true.
No one's fault but my own, but I just would have liked the chance to show them all I was all right. For Mother's sake as much as...
Well, that's quick. Enjoy Chu Chin Chow again, for the 3rd time.
Daisy?
Well?
I thought you were supposed to be poorly.
Oh, I was. I just popped out for a breath of fresh air.
Mm.
Mr. Hudson gone on patrol yet? Well, what's wrong?
There's a sergeant, soldier sergeant, with NP on his arm outside with Mr. Hudson.
What's that supposed to mean?
That's what we wondered.
Well, NP means military police.
I'd better go and lay the dinner. It's just his lordship and Mrs. Bellamy, isn't it?
Sit down, Daisy. That was the Provost Sergeant from the Middlesex Regiment Depot at Mill Hill.
Whatever did he want, Mr. Hudson?
He wanted to know the whereabouts of Edward, who is absent without leave.
Oh, my Lord. Hope he's not ill again.
I don't know, Mrs. Bridges. If he was, the correct procedure would have been for him to apply to see the regimental doctor, which he has so far made no effort to do.
What's the use of that? That doctor was the one who said he was fit to go abroad again.
Was he, Daisy? Was he indeed? How interesting. Especially as it happens, Edward is one of the draft due to leave for France tomorrow.
Oh, that's not right.
No, it's not right. Not Edward.
No, it certainly isn't right. You all know as well as I do, if Eddie has to go through another barrage of shelling like before, he's going to be stark staring mad for the rest of his life. A sort of half portion of a man, like the poor Major upstairs.
Daisy, this is a national emergency. We are fighting at the last ditch with our backs to the wall.
So you keep saying, well, why haven't you gone? They're calling up married men of 50 and there's nothing wrong
Daisy,
with you.
how dare you?
If you want to know, I have applied 2 or 3 times. I'm told that there is no time to train me. And that anyway my job here is of vital national importance.
Quite right, too.
I am told that there are many worse than Edward going out. And anyway, they're only to be employed in replacing lines of communications troops fit for the front.
That's what they say.
Where is Edward, Daisy?
How should I know?
I think you do know. And you're not leaving this room till you tell me. Ruby, I think you know too. Where is he?
Wait, what business is it of yours?
It is my business, because as long as I'm butler here, I shall not stand aside and see disgrace, scandal, or worse brought in this house. He is a former employee, and his wife works here, and I am very fond of the boy.
Oh, you're so fond of him, you'd send him to a loony bin for the rest of his life?
You are his wife, Daisy. Are you prepared to ruin his life and yours forever?
That's nonsense. It's only AWOL. You might have to do a week or two in the glass house, and that's better than France any day.
You have been strangely misinformed, my girl. Deliberately missing a draft for France is considered as much desertion as running away from the enemy in action, or worse. Especially when the crime is committed by a corporal and an old soldier. It is the worst crime a soldier can commit. A terrible example to the young men in his regiment. And there is a dreadful punishment for it. A firing squad at dawn.
I don't believe you. Mrs. Hamilton's son was court-martialed for cowardice, and he got away with nothing worse than a telling off.
Now, that was quite different, Daisy.
Daisy, for pity's sake, tell us.
Mr. Hudson, Edward...
Ruby! He's in his father's house in Walthamstow. It's been bombed, and it's all boarded up, and they're away.
Thank you. Ruby, fetch me the money box.
But that's for our holiday.
Fetch it! Now, Daisy, you will find a taximeter, drive to Walthamstow, collect Edward, and take him immediately to Mill Hill and report to the guard room.
Walthamstow to Mill Hill in a taximeter cab?
Who's going to pay it all back?
When I get to the police station, I will telephone the guard room at Mill Hill and explain that Edward has been suffering from temporary loss of memory and is now better. Now, is that clear now, Daisy? Well, off you go now, my girl, quickly.
What about dinner in the bedroom?
Mrs. Bridges and Ruby must hold the fort. Away you go, girl. Quickly now, quickly.
Oh, my God. Whatever next? So that's what the meat scraps was for. Feeding the poor animals at the zoo. One of these days, my girl, that tongue of yours is going to frizzle up and stick to the roof of your mouth. Well, then what about them vegetables? Oh, the wickedness there is in this world.
Daisy, how's Edward?
Sir, my lord.
What's the matter with Daisy?
Oh, Edward went back to France on a draft this morning, my lord.
Oh, poor girl. Now, will you please find Mrs. Bellamy? Mrs. Hamilton's, be very obliged that come to the morning room immediately.
My lord, I think that Mrs. Hamilton is already a wee thing late for her train to Scotland.
Do as I say,
my lord.
Richard, you're back so early.
Virginia, my dear, do sit down. You know how fond we all are of you. Virginia, Michael was killed in action in Ostend last night. I've just been on the telephone to Dover.
How?
Please tell me everything you know.
The night you went to the theatre, I had a talk with Michael. The next day, I ran into Roger Keyes of the Admiralty. I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. Roger Keyes is a great admiral, great man, a great leader. He knew about Michael, of course. I think even before I mentioned it, he decided to give him another chance. There was this new business at Ostend being planned.
Keyes was Michael's great hero. Do you know what happened?
I have a report. I'll leave it here.
No, read it now, please.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Michael was on the coastal motorboat, ordered to lead and escort the lockship Vindictive up the channel to the lock gates at Ostend, and to place a calcic phosphate light buoy in position to guide her. As the port torpedo was discharged at the lock gates, the boat came under heavy and accurate enfilade fire from the western and eastern piers. Commanding the foredeck, acting Sub-Lieutenant Hamilton continued to return enemy fire with his Lewis gun, in spite of the fact that he was badly wounded. When the signal came, he somehow managed to launch the marker buoy single-handed and light the fuse before dying at his post. There is no doubt that the success of the whole operation was ensured by the consummate bravery and the complete disregard for his own safety shown by this very gallant young officer. Please forgive me, Virginia, for my part.
Don't apologize, Richard. If Michael's father had been alive, it is exactly what he would have wished. For how can man die better than facing fearful odds for the ashes of his fathers and the temples of his gods? That was Michael's...
I'll go to her.
Is there anywhere in the world a woman braver than that?